Good evening. It is Tonight Live with me, Nana Akua, but now it's time for our real story, where we speak to an individual with an extraordinary tale to tell. Claire Waite-Brown suffered from severe anxiety 5 years ago and decided that she needed to shift her attention and reclaim her inner creative self. She founded Open Stage Arts Fun Dramas and singing classes for adults who needed, like her, to refine creativity in life without having to worry about messy performances. Then, in October, she released the first episode of her Creativity Found podcast, in which she chats with people from all ages and backgrounds who have found creativity later in life. Now, as an anxiety survivor, she wants to inspire and encourage people to reclaim their inner creativity without worrying about making a mess of it. Joining me from Oxford is Claire Waite-Brown. Thank you so much, Claire, for being with me.
Thank you for having me.
So, Claire, let's start at the beginning of your journey. Talk to me. How did it start?
Yes, so as you mentioned, it was around about 5 years ago, and I was suffering with anxiety, and I became aware from working with my counsellor that there was this big kind of piece of pie missing from my wheel of life that was something for me, a kind of escapism that wasn't involving work or family or other people and stuff. So I had a little cry about that. And then I did go about trying to find something that I could do just for me without any extra pressure. And what I wanted to do was sing and dance and do drama without putting on a show or auditioning or learning lines. And I couldn't find that. So I went around about starting Open Stage Arts. So a few lessons, talking about starting something new and not being afraid to make a mess of it. I didn't do it perfectly first time around. I had to learn how the classes would best work, how to engage with the teachers and get students and all sorts of things like that. But we've fallen upon now, we've created this lovely space where in real life we can meet for 2 hours a week. I get professional theatre makers in to teach us. We escape and have a good laugh and quite often mess things up. And it was just that kind of freedom. And it was through that I started to meet other people who were looking to tap into some form of creativity for themselves.
That's nice, isn't it? It's sort of like being a judge for a competition where the pressure's not on you, so you can sort of just do your thing and relax. And I can imagine why people would kind of enjoy that feeling. And for you, what's been the main benefit for you doing this?
Well, there's been a lot of starting something new and not being afraid to make a mess of it. I didn't do it perfectly first time around. I had to learn how the classes would best work, how to engage with the teachers and get students and all sorts of things like that. But we've fallen upon now, we've created this lovely space where in real life we can meet for 2 hours a week. I get professional theatre makers in to teach us. We escape and have a good laugh and quite often mess things up. And it was just that kind of freedom. And it was through that I started to meet other people who were looking to tap into some form of creativity for themselves.
That's nice, isn't it? It's sort of like being a judge for a competition where the pressure's not on you, so you can sort of just do your thing and relax. And I can imagine why people would kind of enjoy that feeling. And for you, what's been the main benefit for you doing this?
Well, there's been a lot for me, actually. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I get to do the classes and muck around, but it's the people I've met. I think I really didn't quite have an idea. I tend to think that everybody's like me, but of course everybody isn't like me, and they'll come to the classes for different reasons. I wanted to do it because I like singing and dancing. We don't do dance in it. That was a bit scary for people. But other people are coming because maybe they want to feel more comfortable about speaking in public, or they want to improve their confidence, or they want to meet people, all sorts of different reasons. And also through promoting the classes, I have met so many other people, which has led to the Creativity Found podcast that I've been working on since we haven't been able to do in real life classes.
Sounds like a lot of work, though. I mean, setting this up, getting all these people together, and then obviously keeping it going. How are you managing it?
Oh, I don't know. I just get on with it, I guess. I mean, because going to non in real life, for Open Stage Arts, we did monthly meetups, which was lovely because I wanted to keep everybody connected. And then developing the Creativity Found podcast, it has been lovely to meet people, talk about their stories. Then, as you say, it has been a lot of work. I've had to learn about the technology behind putting on a podcast. And I have learned, the way I edited it the first time round is way different to what I do now. But the pleasure is there in that I get to meet these people, talk about their stories, and they get to hopefully inspire anybody else out there who is maybe thinking, I would like to try something, but I'm a little bit wary. And I'm saying, look, there are these people who have tried it and it hasn't killed them, and it's given them a lot of benefits in their everyday life. So it is possible for you to give something a go.
What kind of things on your podcast do people do? Is it stand-up? Is it comedy?
We've got everything. We've got everything. So I talk with anybody that has refound a sense of creativity, refound an artistic thing that they love. So we've got portrait painters, abstract painters, printmakers, actors, musicians. I've a chap that started a punk band in his 50s. I've got a stand-up comedian coming up, actually. I've got people that have started writing children's book. I've got a pet portrait artist. And I am a milliner coming up. I thought textile artists, absolutely anything that people feel I've been able to tap into my creativity by whatever means feels right for me. And I am super excited to speak with people of any artistic discipline.
Now, Claire, if people want to find out more about the podcast, what do they need to search for to find you?
Very easily on any podcast platform, on Apple or Spotify or any of the podcast platforms. Simply look for Creativity Found and you'll see the lovely orange logo that you showed earlier. If you prefer, you can go to openstagearts.co.uk and all of the episodes are listed there. So to find the podcast itself is super easy. It's wherever you like to find your podcasts.
Oh, listen, Claire, it's a pleasure to meet you and talk to you. You look so jolly and happy. I can't even believe that it's late at night. Your background is almost as though there's a forest and a beautiful sunset behind. Claire, thank you so much for talking to me. That's the lovely Claire Waite-Brown, and she's got a podcast.
Thank you.
And she's a mental health campaigner. Right, so still with me on my fabulous panel. Hello, panel. Fabulous. Now, have you got a secret thing that you wish that you had done in terms of something arty that you would like to have been or done or studied in your life?
Yeah, I was never good at art. I did love music, though. I did love music, so I would retreat to the piano every now and again
So you
to
can
get
play
my creative... Yes, but I don't really play anymore. But I don't know, life gets in the way. But perhaps if I was having anxiety, that would be something that I would go to, maybe.
Nice. The piano. Yeah, I can imagine you playing the piano. Because you've got that sort of face that when you're playing the piano, you'd be going... That's what piano... They do, don't they?
Is that a good thing?
Not so much.
No.
What about you? Is there anything that... Because you're a comedian.
Yeah, it's
That's
quite
like
crazy.
got to be the best job ever, right?
I mean, definitely. So I love the facts. I did chemistry at university, so I was heading towards not being... Well, there's some creativity in it, but sometimes too much creativity in chemistry leads to explosions, so it's good to rein it in.
Good.
But when I made the switch to not be scientific anymore and pursue this creative career, I thought, oh, great, I'm really creative. I didn't get enough. Writing comedy is great, but I so wish I could sing. Because then I wouldn't be embarrassed about the noises I make in the car. If I'm singing along to a song and you pull up at lights, the windows down, and someone hears the noise that I make, it's terrible. I wish I could embrace it more.
No, I really hated chemistry at school.